Well, hey everyone, welcome to the end of August. My name is Anthony. I'm the care pastor here, and I'm with
Igor, your online service chaplain.
That's right. We're so excited that you're joining us here today. Can't believe it's the end of August already.
That's right, we're already in September.
All right, ready to go into September. Well, we've got baptisms today, a lot of things to be able to celebrate. So we're going to send you on over to 301 Garden to get this party started.
Good morning! It would help if I turned my mic on. We're so glad you guys have decided to join us this morning. It's good to be together, and we're thankful to be able to celebrate our King and all that He has done for us, what He is capable of in our lives. So we want to invite you to stand with us and join us as we celebrate Him today.
This is what living everybody. Why don't you take a moment to say hi to those who are standing around you? Morning. You guys can have a seat. Welcome. It's so great to have you with us. My name is Anthony. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the care pastor here. So many exciting things happening. If this is your first time with us, we want to invite you to download the Hoboken Grace app. It can be found in any app store. Just search for Hoboken Grace. And while you do that, I want to talk to my regular attenders. Regular attenders, welcome back. Whether you're joining us here in person or watching online, I want to encourage you to go ahead and pull out your app. Click check in and let us know that you are here. You did such a great job last week submitting prayer requests. It was an honor to be able to partner with you all through prayer this past week. That's where you can submit even more prayer requests. Check in, let us know that you were here. It helps us to be able to care for you. First time guests, hopefully you're able to download that app. Go ahead and open it up, and on the homepage you'll see check in. Go ahead and do that as well. And then on your way out, make sure you stop by a welcome table. We have a free gift we'd love to give you for being our guest here today. Also, if you're new here and you're wondering, hey, what's next? How do I get involved? I have some questions. I'd love to meet you in the 3rd Street hallway, if you're here in person, into something that's called Next. If you're watching online, there'll be a Zoom link posted. But Next is really an opportunity to, hey, find out what my next step is, answer some questions. It's a brief 10-minute introduction, so we hope I'll see you over there. A lot of things that we're celebrating, but one of the things we want to remind you all about is our members meeting today at 3 p.m. right here at 301 Garden Street. It's going to be an exciting time in our church family, and we're going to be letting you know about some of the updates for this upcoming year. A lot of things that we're celebrating, like I was saying, but one of the things that we celebrate every single week is God's provision. Because when we pause and think about it, God really has provided everything that we have. And when we do, we respond with gratitude. And one of the ways that we celebrate God's provision is through giving. We realize that God is the ultimate giver. He gave his one and only son so that we can be reconciled to him. And when we give, we emulate that in our own lives. We give to mobilize this incredible mission that he's given us of helping people find their way back to God. Now, we don't pass baskets here, but we do want to give you an opportunity to give. You can give by clicking give at the bottom bar of that app. You can go to HobokenGrace.com/give. You can text Hoboken Grace to that 800 number, or if you'd like to give in person, there's some orange boxes right by the doors in which you came in. But we want to invite you into this conversation with him, to worship him through giving. If you've already given, if you already automate your giving, I want to encourage you to just present your gifts to him and say, God, I ask you to use these gifts for your glory and for your mission. So we're going to give you a minute to do that right now. Here is your 1 minute. Well, today we are celebrating our teams. Those of you who are serving, those of you who are online that are serving, so many of our church family come together to help us accomplish this incredible mission that God has given us to help people find their way back to God. We want to thank you for partnering with us this way and for honoring God with your giving.
We are all on a journey. A path, moving in different directions. But in this moment, our paths have crossed. Whatever led you here, welcome.
Excellent. Well, good morning, and welcome. If you have started attending Hoboken Grace during the month of August, you have no idea who I am. My name is Chris. I'm lead pastor here, and I have been enjoying some time with my family, but I'm really excited to be back. I'm really excited about the conversation that we're going to be walking into this fall. As a matter of fact, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to be very careful not to go into that conversation and to start too early because I'm that excited about it. I encountered something over the past month that I'd never seen before inside of God's Word. I'm really excited to be able to bring that to you. It's been powerfully impacting me, and I want to be able to walk you through it. I'm really excited about that. So make sure that you mark your calendars. September 18th, you need to be here. Make sure you invite someone to be with you on that Sunday, because that's when we're launching this fall series called Enjoying God. And I've never seen this before. I don't think, as I've been engaging with other pastors, I haven't seen others who've seen this before. It's really significant. And so make sure that you invite someone to be part of that conversation with you. But before we get there, we've got a couple of weeks left, including this week, which is the last Sunday of August. Did you know it was the last Sunday of August? Yeah, some of you didn't want to know it was the last Sunday of August. Some of you are like, you just ruined my weekend. I didn't want to think about that. I can't believe we're already at the last Sunday of August, but we are. Now, for some of you, that makes you very sad. For others of you, it makes you very happy because you love football and you're ready for football season to start. Or maybe you just like fall better, and that's your season that you enjoy. But whatever it is, today we come together on the last Sunday, and every year here at Hoboken Grace, we do something a little bit different on this Sunday because we call this the State of the Union. Now, this has nothing to do with the country in which we live. This has to do with our union. In other words, when Jesus steps into our life, he invites us into a relationship with him. He invites us to be part of his family. He invites us to be part of his body, and he says, okay, you have a unity. As a matter of fact, one of the things Jesus prays for most when it comes to the church is that they would have unity. And he says, okay, I want for you to come together, and you're going to be this community, and you're going to have unity. And so every year we come together and we talk about, okay, the state of our family, the state of our unity here as part of Hoboken Grace. And we look back at what God's done over the past year, and then we look forward to what's ahead as we move into this coming year. And as we come together today, we have so many different things that we have to celebrate. When we look back, you talk about engaging people and serving and being a part of the mission of God. Right now, we have over 418 people serving in some capacity to make all of this possible and to carry out this mission that he's given us. Over 418 people. It's incredible. As you look at engaging people inside of community and helping them to not just walk this journey alone, but to actually do it together. We have over 450 people who are active inside of a dinner group right now. It's amazing to see how we've been able to bring people together in that way. Over just the last 2 months, we've been able to impact over 10,000 people, just in the last 2 months, in some way serving them inside of our community. I think that's something to celebrate as we come together this morning. That's just 2 months. It's amazing the doors that God's opened. As we look back over this past year, which begins about last October for us, we've had over 700 people walk into Hoboken Grace for the first time. Over 700 people that we've been able to share this message of Jesus with for the first time, and to let them know, listen, what you've been told about God is not true. The idea that he's angry with you and waiting for you to get things fixed in order for him to be, that's not the message of Jesus. We've been able to share that with over 700 people for the very first time. Would you guys celebrate that with me? Some of you are like, I have no excitement. You just told me it's the last weekend in August. I've got nothing for you, nothing for you. But we have so much to celebrate as we come together today. And for those of you who don't know, another thing that God's done over the course of this past year is that we have a 25,000 square foot facility that we are building out right now on 14th Street. No, not excited about that either, huh? Did they not have coffee in the hallway today? Like, what is happening? Wow. We're gonna have to work on this as we move through the day. But we do, it's so much to celebrate. And even as we talk about the facility, give you a little bit of an update. All of the demolition has been done inside of that space. The plans have been submitted to the city. The final plans are in, and we're gonna begin the build out of that hopefully really soon as we move through the month of September. It's amazing to see all that God has allowed us to be a part of as we move through this past year. But as we come together today, I want to remind you of what it is that we're about. And as we look towards the future, as we celebrate the past, as we look towards the future, I want to remind you of who it is that we are and what it is that we're about. Because the building, the facility, that's not the mission of Hoboken Grace. The mission of Hoboken Grace is to help people find their way back to God. That's who we are. That's what we do. It's why we exist. It's the mission we've been given. And the building and the facility, it's not the vision of what we want to see happen with Hoboken Grace. Let me take you back to this passage because I think this captures our vision better than anything else. And I want for this passage to constantly seep into the cracks and crevices of our life. I want for it to sift us constantly, for us to ask, okay, is this actually true of me? Is this who I am? Listen to what it says at the beginning of Psalm chapter 1. It says, "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked or stand in the way of sinners or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night." He says, when you, rather than pursuing all these other gods, all these other places that offer security, all these other places that offer satisfaction, he says, when you delight in God, when you delight in his word, he says, this is what happens in your life. It says, he is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. And for us as a church, this is our vision. If you want to know, okay, what is it that I pray most for in your life as an individual? It's this. I want for this to be you. I want for this to be us. You say, what is it that we're trying to do? We're not trying to open a facility. A facility is just a tool in order for us to be able to be this and to live this inside of our community. And I love this picture that he paints because it's this tree that's planted by streams of water. It's this picture of consistency, of something that's solid, that's unmovable. And he talks about the fact that it yields fruit in every season. Not just in the good seasons, but also in the bad seasons. Not just when everything's going great, but when things are dried up. It says he's consistently bearing fruit, this consistent production of fruit. And he says, whose leaf does not wither, no matter what the storm is that comes against it. It's consistent, it's unmovable. It draws its nutrients from that river, finds its satisfaction in it. This is whatever he does prospers. And when we talk about prospering, we're not talking about the way the world talks about prospering. We're talking about prospering as it pertains to our mission of helping people find their way back to God. That consistently there's that fruit, that consistently we're seeing that happen, that you're seeing that happen through you and the lives of the people around you. This is what I pray for most in your life. This is, if you say, what is it that we're trying to do at Hoboken Grace? We're trying to be this, a community that lives this out. And this is not just for us. Because the world around you is crying out for someone who can actually live like this. The world around you is crying out for someone who knows what it is to actually be content. Because the world around us knows nothing of it. Someone that's content, rooted, solid, grounded. No matter what the storm is, no matter what the season is, it's consistent. The people around you are crying out for someone that could actually live that they could actually experience that, because our culture knows nothing of contentment. I hate this about even my own life. It's a constant battle to be satisfied, rooted in him, and be content, solid. It was interesting. This past week, I was with my family down the shore, and we had the opportunity to stay at a friend's house. It was an incredible place. But it was interesting. We're sitting in the backyard, and as I looked at the houses along this road, it was almost like a Verizon commercial, because each house it was like a perfect picture of each house just got bigger as you go. And I looked at the houses, and I was thinking through this conversation for today, and I looked at the smallest house, and I thought, I bet every day they wish they had this house. And then my boys even said it to me. They said, Dad, why aren't we staying in that house? I said, really? Seriously? But that's a bigger house. Almost none of us know what it is to be that tree rooted, content, satisfied, whose leaf never withers. The world around you craves it. I mean, you look at this picture, and what's the first word that comes to your mind? If you really allow yourself to engage the picture, it's peace, isn't it? I remember I was in Italy once, and I was studying through this passage, and I happened to just be on the edge of this river, and there was this huge tree. You could tell it had been there forever. And I just sat underneath it. I said, man, this is phenomenally peaceful. Your coworkers don't know this. And for many of us, we don't know this yet. But we're working for it. And God says, now when you delight in me, and I got to be careful not to go into this fall, right? But when you delight in me, this is actually possible. You can live this. And we want to be a community that displays this, that says to the world, no, you don't have to be destroyed by every circumstance that comes your way. You don't have to be tossed here and there by every storm that walks into your life. Because here's the thing, the world around you is never going to stop changing, but you can change how it changes you. And this is someone who walks through all of what life has to offer and remains firm. Life doesn't tell the tree what it will become. It's consistent, unmovable. And as a church, we want to be that in the midst of this community. For you as an individual, I want for you to live this in your workplace, in your neighborhood, inside your family. This is the vision. This is what we're working for. This is what we're working to become. This is what we're pursuing as we pursue the one who loves us most. But if we're going to do that, if that's going to happen inside of our lives, we have to do it together. We have to do it together. This is not a vision that is accomplished as an individual. We have to do this together. And as we move through the fall, we're going to talk to you about a lot of different ways for you to do that, and a lot of different ways for you to be able to do that together. Because we understand not just that we're better together, but we also understand. And I love the way that 1 Peter says this. Let me take you to this other passage. because I think it's critical in us understanding the significance of community. Listen to what it says in 1 Peter chapter 5. It says, be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. And Peter steps into our life and he says, listen, as you're on this journey, you have to understand something. There's also one who wants to keep you from that. There's also one who wants to destroy you in this. And sometimes I'll talk to people about this and they'll say, devil, what do you, here's what I know about you. Even if you're like, I don't know about, here's what I know about you. You do believe in evil. Now, maybe you don't put a name to it, but God steps into our life and he does. He says, no, there's actually someone behind that. There's someone championing that. There's someone who's actively working to bring that into your life. And as we're looking to pursue this, as we're looking, okay, how do I delight in him in such a way that I actually can be this for my family, that I can actually be this inside of my community, that I can be this for my workplace? We have to understand, no, there's one who actually wants to destroy that in our life. And I love this picture because he says he prowls around like a roaring lion. And for most of my life, I interacted with this passage and I thought, oh, he's talking about the power of the enemy. He's talking about the power of the enemy. Until one day I was watching this documentary. And I was watching it with my boys, and we were watching these lions just devour zebras, just devour them. And my wife said, I don't think that's appropriate for a 2-year-old. I said, they need to know how life works. And we're watching this. And it was interesting because as the documentary played out, all of a sudden the lions, they started to almost starve to death. As a matter of fact, they were getting to the point where if they didn't eat soon, they were going to die. And as you looked at that picture, you thought, well, there must not be any food around. But the reality is that there was food everywhere. There were zebras all over the place. There were wildebeest. You couldn't even count the number of wildebeest that were there. But they're starving to death. You know why? Because lions know that they can't attack the pack. And so lions understand, if I attack the pack, I'm going to get kicked and I'm going to die. And so they have a very specific strategy. Now, in this documentary, they hadn't been successful with the strategy for quite some time. But they have a consistent strategy and they execute it every time. It's the only way they hunt, it's how they hunt. And that is this: they work to get one separated from the pack. Because they know if they can get that one away from the pack, they've got him. And so they're constantly working. They're constantly watching for the one that wanders off. They're constantly watching for the one that disengages. And as soon as they do, they pounce. And I was watching this play out, and I was like, wait. He's not just talking about the power of the enemy. He's talking about the plan of the enemy. This is how he does it. And if he can get you alone, he's got you. If I can just get them alone, I've got them. And for me, this was powerful because as a pastor, I've watched this play out for years and years and years and years and years. And individuals will come to us and say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from dinner group for a little bit. Hey, I'm just going to step off the team for a month or so. Work's getting really busy. I just need to take a break. And the interesting thing is that oftentimes they'll say, I just need to take a break. I just need to take care of myself for a little bit, and then I'll be back. And I know, no, it's not the way it works. And they disengage from community. And he's got them. He's not just talking about the power. He's talking about the plan. This is why community is so significant. It's why it's so important. This is why for some of you who are watching online, you're in a dangerous place. Because you are alone. And you're engaging the content of Hoboken Grace, but you are not engaging the community of Hoboken Grace. And you are alone. You are in a dangerous place And the enemy, this is how he works. This is why when Jesus calls together his disciples and gives them this mission, he says, this is what you're going to be. You're going to be a church. You know what church means? The actual word means, the original word means, it means assembly. It means group. It means coming together. It means a congregation. It means a group of people who are coming together. Why? Because together is how we follow. Because if we're going to experience what God wants for us to experience, if we're going to follow him the way he calls for us to follow him, we have to do it together. Even with the way we serve here at Hoboken Grace, we take this into account. So we try to make sure no one ever serves alone. Why? Because it's not just about accomplishing the task. It's about connection. It's about community. Even if the task only requires one person, we want two people doing it. Why? Because we need to be together so that if the enemy comes after one, the other one of us can kick him. That's your job. We do it together. Together. And if that's going to be who we are as a church, if that's going to be who you are as an individual, we have to do it together. And I know some of you are here and you're saying, yeah, you better talk to those online people. I showed up, they didn't show up. Where are they at? But here's the thing. You're here, and then you walk out anonymously. You're around the community of Hoboken Grace, but you're not in it. It's just as dangerous. And we want to make sure that together we can follow God this way this fall. We want to make sure that together we get to experience that dream. That we don't allow each other to be picked off along the way. That together we do this. And so like I said, we're gonna present to you this fall a couple different ways how you can do that. We're gonna talk to you about groups beginning next week, and I'm going to say over and over again, get in a group, get in a group, get in a group. But I want to talk to you about another really powerful way to be able to experience that community today. And I want to talk to you about teams and being part of a team. Really quickly, give a shout if you're already part of a team here at Hoboken Grace. Excellent. Remember I told you there's over 450 people who are already part of a team here at Hoboken Grace. And I want to talk to you about how you can be part of that. As we look at opening this new facility and helping people find their way back to God as best as we can inside of that facility, we want to make sure that our team is fully prepared to engage that. And one of the most powerful ways that you engage community, that you're part of community, that you get to watch out for others and they get to watch out for you, is to be part of a team. Now, to do that today, I'm going to do something different than we've ever done it here at Hoboken Grace, something we've never actually done. And I don't know exactly how it's going to go. In the first service, some of the directors talked way too long. And we had to adjust that. But we'll see how it goes with this. But here's what I want to do. I want for you to be able to see our family and all the different things that we do. I get to hear all these stories of what we do and where we do it and how we do it. You don't get to hear all of those things. And oftentimes, I'll talk to you about different directors that are part of our staff here at Hoboken Grace. And you know their names, but you've never actually seen their faces. And so I want to give you a chance to be able to meet them. I want for you to be able to hear all of what God's doing. And if you're not part of a team, I want for you to be able to say, okay, how can I engage community? How do I make sure that this doesn't happen to me? How do I make sure that I'm not this story? How do I make sure that together we can actually pursue this dream that God set out before us? This is, if you delight in me, this is what you can know. This is who you can be. And I want for you to see all the different ways that you can be part of that you can engage with that. In addition to that, for those of you who are on teams, I want for you to celebrate all the different gifts that God has given inside of our family and all the different people who are serving in all sorts of different ways. And so I'm going to bring the directors up on stage. You guys can join me up here. Did you guys just celebrate them? And as they come up and as they get set, I will tell you this. Some of them some of them are really good at being on stage and they've done this before. Others of them have never done this before outside of the first service. And so they're going to be really bad at it. Okay? I say that to you. I say that to you because of the fact that make your decision on the content of what they say, not the presentation of how they say it, okay? Because some of them are just better. So don't just join Anthony. Anthony knows how to do this, okay? He's going to present really well. That doesn't mean you should join his team. But look at where it is that you fit best so that you can be part of it, so that together we can do this. I'm going to ask them to actually share their department, the different teams that are in it, and just kind of give you an idea of which kind of people really flourish inside of their teams, which types of people actually fit as part of their team. So Anthony, take it away.
Hey, everybody, how we doing? There we go. So I'm Anthony. Apart from being the care pastor, I'm also the Equip director. Equip is being pulled from Ephesians 4:9, that our job is to equip each other to build up this thing called the church. And so you'll see a bunch of teams that are under the Equip department, things like benevolence and care, and prayer. These are for those who come alongside one another and help one another in really in times of need. But also our Church Online. Shout out to our Church Online family out there. For those who really want to help our Church Online. Yeah, we love our Church Online family. Literally connecting all over the world. We have people serving in Church Online that are serving in other countries. Also for our communicators.
Just to point this
Yes.
out, because we talked earlier about being part of a community, even though you're watching online. There are many who are watching online that are part of community.
Absolutely.
Because they're in a team, they're in a group, they're actually engaging community. They're not just taking in content. I'm not talking specifically about and so I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, there's a lot of our online community that are part of that way. Communicators, trying to teach some of these people how to speak, but also so many people that are part of our family to be able to learn how to communicate. Our counseling center, many of you have seen that really explode over the last year. We also have our Equip groups like Re-Engage and Starting Point. Re-Engage is our marriage ministry. Starting Point are for those who are exploring faith, helping people come alongside. In fact, today in this service, one of our Starting Point leaders is getting baptized. That's pretty amazing. We also have our Next Steps team, which is the team that helps put on those baptisms. Also some of our growth events and all of our classes. Things like our Merge, which is our premarital class, and our 9, which is our Preparing to Parent class, and Amplify, which is our big growth event. Simple Service is maybe you've gotten a granola bar on the PATH train or water, on a hot day. These are, you just probably rate that. Those people out there that do that. They come to really give out smiles and to really show that God is pursuing them. And last but not least, also under our counseling center is our support groups, those like Crossroads that help people work through life's hurts, habits, and hangups, addictions, specialized groups like that as well. So who is good for the Equip department? Those of you who are not excelling in Excel, this is the group for you, all right? To care for others, to those who are high in empathy and those who are good at encouragement and walking alongside others.
I don't feel like Excel and empathy are opposites, are
No,
they? I don't think they cancel each other out.
They do both start with E. If you excel in empathy, Equip is for you.
That's if you enjoy those jokes, it's a good team for you. Excellent. Just real quick, I just want to ask, how many of you have received granola bar or something simple, like Simple Service at the PATH station or somewhere around Hoboken? Yeah. Okay, excellent. Awesome. Vinny, take it from there.
Hello, I'm Vinny, and I'm the Director of Financial Health and Stewardship. Very cool. Yeah.
Did you plant them there? Is that there's your fans club right there?
No, we're just that good. And in many ways, we're an extension of the Equip department, but we're focused on financial health. So as Pastor Chris said earlier, we want the church and our community to be rooted in Jesus and in what the Bible has to say about finances, so that no matter the circumstances, we're going to be content, we're going to be joyful, and we're going to be generous. So the programs are many. Some are classes, some are one-to-one counseling or coaching things that we do, but essentially we're looking for people who are empathetic, as well as good at Excel and numbers. So if you're multi-talented, join our team. Actually, on that note, our team has done a really great job of being consistent and serving year after year. So we're actually full right now. If you're interested in our team, the first step is to join a financial peace class starting in September.
Excellent, excellent.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna, and I am the First Impressions Director. And lots of First Impressioners out there. And what our team does is...
I feel like she got a few more than you did.
But who's counting? Our team ensures that everyone, even Vinny here, feels welcomed and loved and prepared for. Everyone that walks into our space, into our church family. And we do that with a couple of teams. So we have our back of house producers who literally stand in the back of the auditorium.
You can see them right now.
Yep, Jordan's back there somewhere.
Right there.
And they constantly look at the auditorium while you're enjoying service to ensure that we all are safe and to ensure that we all can enjoy a service that's distraction-free.
Yes, if you like removing babies from the service, this is
in
the
a very
place for
kind
you.
way. We're gonna get a bad rap. Our other team is our Connection Points team, and they're the people that you see at the welcome desks. And they are people that love to further connect you into our family. And so they do great job welcoming our first-time guests. We also have our greeters and ushers, which are the smiling faces that held the door for you this morning, that showed you to your seat. It's people that are incredibly friendly. And
If people consistently say, "Why are you smiling?" to you, this is your job. This is what you should do.
Exactly, exactly. We also have our hospitality team. So if you are grateful for the coffee and the water that's out there for you every Sunday morning, that's our hospitality team. We also have our resources team, which is our only First Impressions team that does not serve on a Sunday. It serves during the week to ensure that we are fully ready for every Sunday. We also have our setup team. So if you're an early riser, they come in at 7 a.m. every Sunday and they transform this entire school into what you call your church home. And they do an awesome, awesome job. And then we have our teardown team, which basically comes in after the third service and undoes everything that the setup team just did. Just a few hours before. And they ensure that we can put away our entire church into 3 closets, and they do a great job of it, so we can return the space exactly how we found it.
Yeah, a lot of people walk in, you see it like this, and then people will walk in during the week for a school event or something and say, "Wait a second, where is everything?" Because the carpets aren't here, none of this is here. It's just an empty gym when we show up. People are usually shocked when they see it for what it actually is.
Yep. So if you are someone that when you walked into Hoboken Grace, you really appreciated the warm welcome that you got, if it's ever made you feel like, I can belong here, and you want to do that for the person that comes after you, I'd love for you to come talk to me and we can figure out how you would best fit into the team.
Excellent. Are you less nervous this service?
I am, yeah. I think it was a good test run.
Luis is our newest associate director.
Thank you. So I'm Luis. I lead the communications team here at Hoboken Grace. And the way that I've been loving to describe this team is that we're a storytelling team. We like to tell a story of what's going on here at our church and in our community. And within the communications team, we have the media team. So these are our photographers, our video producers, the people that work with social media. And I know a lot of you out there love social media and are slightly addicted to it as well. So if that's you, this is a great place for you. We'd love to have you serving on this team. Also, we have our story team as well. These are our writers and the people that help put together the stories that you see occasionally on Sundays. And I think it's just such a powerful experience as well when you get to hear these stories and be able to either write something about it or write something about going on here in Hoboken. And I think that's very special as well because we are very active. And last but not least, we have our marketing team as well. this is a team that kind of strategizes different ways that we can draw awareness to Hoboken Grace. And it's very special as well because we want people coming through the doors. We've had, I think Pastor Chris talked about the numbers of first-time guests that we've been having. And so that's very special for us. And I think as a comms team, we're in a unique position in the day and age that we're in with the internet and social media to really make an impact in that way. So if that's something that you like and something that you're excited about, this is the team for you.
How many of you Googled? Yeah, you can celebrate him. We'll celebrate you. How many of you Googled Hoboken Grace before you showed up? Yeah, exactly. That's how important this team is and all that they do as far as the web presence is concerned. Dana, I don't think anybody knows what you do.
It's a mystery.
Yes.
It's a mystery. No, my name's Dana. I'm the service programming director, which is a fancy way of saying band and production. So service programming is those two teams. Production is the team. Service programming, exists to create this awesome service that you're a part of right now that reflects how we value God and that hopefully you love to attend in person or online. So production is one branch of that, and they use audio and visual technology to allow for you to experience the service.
You really use your hands.
Well,
You almost hit me.
Yes. Well, I'm getting into it. I'm excited, okay? So production, so they're awesome. People that are a good fit for a production are if you have a good attention to detail, if you enjoy learning new technology and how to operate things like a camera or a video switcher or a soundboard.
Yeah, you don't have to know the technology. You just have to like learning technology.
Yes.
If you love learning technology, it's a great team.
It's a great point about that team. You do not need to have experience in production or live production to be a good fit for it. We would love to train you at any experience level. And then the other half of it is obviously the band, which you guys experience every week. Our band exists to help us all love God well through his love language, through music. And so people that are a good fit for that are people who love to play or sing music. And I don't just mean play like on your Spotify, but play like with an instrument and sing with your voice. So if that's something that you enjoy doing, there is an audition process with that just because we want to make sure we can speak music together. But if that's something you love to do, you might be a great fit for that.
Yeah. Excellent.
Hey guys, I'm Nick. I'm the community director here at Hoboken Grace, and we help people belong is what we do. And after doing this for 13 years, I've learned a lot from doing this pitch. And usually when people hear about community department, they think, oh, I'm going to sign up for a dinner group. This is about signing up for the team. You'll get a chance to do the dinner group in a few weeks. But we have a few different teams here at Hoboken Grace for community. The first one is our dinner group leaders. So we had talked earlier about how we've had 700 first-time guests, and when those first-time guests come, it really creates demand for our groups. And so the best way that we can meet that demand is to increase our supply of group leaders that we have. So if you are someone who loves to encourage others, if you're someone who's been a part of our dinner groups before and understands like our system, that's a really big bonus that we have there. But we make it easy for you to get started. We start everyone out with 10 weeks, and we give you the first 10 weeks and everything's laid out. So we just need you to choose the night, learn the basics, which we'll teach you, and then lead the plan that we have at 10weekgroup.com. The other one that we have is our connectors. And so this is our connection event. So in September, we have 11 connection events that are going to be happening. At those connection events, we have people there who will network with others to help them get connected. So what ends up happening in our community is a lot of people come from all over this country to live here. And they're seeking friendship, they're seeking friends, they're seeking family. And so this is a place where that can get started. And I would say the other thing that goes with that is you may have a friend who's not comfortable coming to a church. So maybe they've told you before, man, if I step in that place, I'm going to get struck by lightning. Like, that's a phrase I hear all the time, right? Invite them to come to trivia on a Tuesday night or invite them to come to a First Friday. It's a really safe place for them to be able to get to know what we're about before stepping into a church.
How many connection events do we have in September?
11.
11
of them. So, and that's a big credit to the team that's a part of that. And we would love to have more people help us out with those. And then the last one is, oh man, I almost hit you right in the face. Community support. And this is the people that help out with all the details that we have that go into our connection events and our classes. And I love looking for people, I call them MWAs, which is not moms with attitudes, but moms with availability. And so if you have an hour in your week that you could give to help me out with the details of making sure that our groups are correct and making sure that people are getting cared for and loved inside of those groups, this is a great team for you to be a part of.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited for those 11 Connection events. Just disclaimer, I met my husband at a Connection event, so everybody, all you singles, get to those events. No. Okay, kids. My name is Rachel, and I've had the opportunity to be able to be a part of a lot of different teams, but my primary focus has always been in our kids programming. And so Grace Kids, which is happening right now on the 4th floor, welcomes kids who are 10 weeks all the way through 5th grade. And what we do up there is pretty amazing, but we create a safe space for kids to be able to grow in the truth and love of Jesus and help them to really develop an authentic faith all on their own. And so there are several different teams that you can be a part of to be able to be a part of Grace Kids. And so our family support team is one of them. And this is a team that really comes alongside parents who may have a child that has a special need. And so we come alongside them and we provide support, and typically in the form of a one-on-one buddy. We also have our hype team. So this team comes in, gets the kids super pumped about whatever it is that we're doing that day, helps them to worship and share the Bible story, and just really get them pumped up. We also have
if people are constantly telling you to calm down, this is the team for you.
True. That's very
This
true.
is the team
That's
for
very
you.
true. We also have a resource team. So if you're a super organized person, which I am completely not, this could be a great team for you. They meet during the week, and they're actually putting together all of the bins for all of the supplies that we're going to need on Sunday morning. So depending on what the craft is.
This is a great team if you really care about kids but don't want to be with kids.
Right. If you care about the next generation but you don't actually like them, it's totally fine. And then we also have our small group leaders and teachers who show up consistently to pour into these kids. And they actually don't have to come already prepared with some Bible lesson. We provide everything. We have an amazing curriculum that they literally just show up and we put it in their hands. And then lastly, we have our welcome team. And this team just greets the families as they're coming in, helps them to feel comfortable and welcome, get them checked in, and get them to their classroom.
If you're a parent, this is a really good team for you. The welcome team is because one, as a parent, you'll be able to welcome parents really well. And the other thing is it allows for a little bit shorter service time. So if you struggle with that, this is a great place to get started.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes before service and 15 after service. So a lot of our welcome team are parents, which is great. So, and then next I'll talk to you guys about, just for a few minutes, is our student ministry, which has just recently completely taken off. We have tons of kids attending ours. Yeah, that's okay. We can celebrate that. So our student ministry is our middle school program, which we call Vibe. And also our high school program, which we call the Quad. And so I don't know if you guys remember middle school, but I do, and it was super awkward. So I don't know if it was for anybody else. But just because it's awkward doesn't mean it has to be lonely. And so we, in Vibe and Quad, create a space where kids can come in, feel comfortable, be excited to be there, feel loved, and again, learn about who Jesus really is, how much he loves them, and really help them to develop an authentic faith of their own that sticks, right? That sticks as they get older. There's lots of different teams that you can be involved in to be a part of our student ministry, and so we have an events team. So if you love planning events and coordinating, we have a hosting team. If you love being on stage, getting people excited about what we're going to be doing. We have a setup team. So just like this space that Anna talked about on Sunday, we set up on Thursday evenings from 7 to 8:30 is what our program is. So our setup team comes in just a little bit before then and turns it into a super awesome space. And then, of course, we also have our small group leaders who show up consistently, and they lead a group of 6 to 8 kids every week in a conversation about what the lesson was about. And so they're just, again, growing in those relationships. And lastly, we have our welcome team. A lot of our middle schoolers and high schoolers show up by themselves. The parent doesn't drop them off. And so they're nervous. And so this team helps them to feel connected, gets gets them paired with a small group leader or another peer. So yeah, if you're interested in any of our kids programming, I would love the opportunity to be able to talk to you guys after service.
Excellent.
Awesome. And I know you're getting antsy out there. Just stick with us. Question 2 will go much faster as we go back.
No.
I'm kidding. And so I'm James, the engagement director here at Hoboken Grace. I'm going to talk to you about a couple departments that we have. First is technology. Obviously, we want to use technology to help the staff, help our teams, help everybody be more efficient, and also make sure that we're caring for the entire church family well. We don't want anybody to go by unnoticed on a Sunday, a prayer request to get missed from the prayer team praying for it. Sorry, first impression, shout out for the coffee today. It is definitely strong. So the technology team looks to use technology to love people really well. Our analytics team runs the database, runs weekly and monthly reports, as well as sets up dashboards for our staff to help ensure that they can spend more time with people and more time focused on their ministry and less time trying to answer some of the questions to do that well. The concierge team systematically follows up with everyone that has taken a step of faith, joined a team, joined a group, or checked for more information on one of those steps of faith to ensure that when you ask, you get the information in a timely, efficient manner. Systems, if you work in systems administration or process automation, would be a great team for you to check out. And then web is not the marketing or search engine side that communications deals with, but more on the front-end development side. And so if you have front-end development experience, we'd love to chat with you. We set up groups like 10weekgroup.com, financialhealth.com, as well as the main Hoboken Grace website. So that's technology.
I will say this team is phenomenally good at what they do. As a matter of fact, they've built systems that excel above almost every other church in the country. We'll interact with huge churches, and they're like, wait, you track all of this, and you know all of this information? They're just really, really good at it. And if you're in this world, like if you love Excel, you will actually get better being on this team. You will get better at your job being on this team. That's how good they are. It's really amazing.
Yes, this is the opposite of Anthony, but you can be empathetic too. So we're going to switch from technology to another department, which is neighborhood inside of the church. So neighborhood has several different teams, as well as some new teams that are forming. Vinny's teams are completely full, but as we move into 409, as Chris was talking about earlier, we have the need for new teams to come. And so the neighborhood is how are we engaging the community? How are we working with community partners? As well as how are we using the building as a tool to reach those in our community? And so some of the teams that exist, bridge events, hopefully you've heard about One Day at this point, or the Christmas Exchange, or Easter egg hunt. Yes. Don't forget to sign up for One Day. But if you love events or logistics, bridge events or partnerships would be a great opportunity for you to serve inside of this team, help encourage nonprofits inside of their mission. The missions team is about taking the message of Jesus to the unreached people groups of the world. And so if you care about taking the message to people who don't have access to it, this would be a great team for you to check out. And then the last
as opposed to those who don't care.
You never know. And they came with their friends. They're actually just waiting for brunch. The last 4 teams on the slide, building management. This is about the strategic operations of the building, from access control to how can we ensure that it's here, not just today, but that continue rooted a tree that produces fruit for generations to come. Facilities, tactical execution inside of that. So if you love welcoming people into your home or doing small projects around your home and making it a welcoming, inviting place, the facilities team can be a great way to do that each and every week inside of the community. Security, as we move into the new building, we want to make sure it's safe not only on Sundays, but throughout the week. And then events, one of the things we've spoken extensively about is we want other people to use the space, not just Sundays, but all throughout the weeks. And so that event team wants to make sure that nothing is double booked, wants to make sure that the rooms are set up and ready to go with all of the resources that they need around the building, and to just love the community really well.
I thought you described it really well before. I keep talking before they can celebrate people, but
just let them clap for me. I'm never up here.
But you said if you're someone who immediately sends an iCal invite after you've scheduled a meeting, that might be a good team for you.
That's right.
Yes,
if
exactly.
you live by your calendar, the events team is going to be
Yes.
There's going to be a lot.
Would you
going on.
guys celebrate them one more time? When I was in high school, I read this quote. It was written in the back of D.L. Moody's Bible. And he'd never shared it with anyone. He'd never said it out loud. They didn't find it until after he'd passed. And they looked in the back of his Bible, and they started looking back through each of his Bibles. It was written in the back of all of them. It just says this: the world has yet to see what God can do with a man fully consecrated to him. And then it continues, and he says, I'm setting out to be that man. The world has yet to see what God can do with someone fully devoted to him. From the beginning of Hoboken Grace, we've been saying this over and over again. It started with 5 of us. We said, what could God do with 5 people inside this community? That 5 turned into 100, and we said, what could God do with 100 people? That 100 turned into 200. And we asked the question again at 500. We asked the question again as we come together today. Over 900 individuals who are actively part of our family. Let me ask you something. What could God do? Do you want to find out? Do you want to find out? Or are you going to sit it out? We've already tasted of what God can do. But it's critical that we do it together. What could God do if all of us decided, no, I'm not just going to be around community, I'm going to engage community. I'm not just going to watch the mission. I'm going to be part of the mission. I'm not just going to celebrate baptisms. I'm going to be part of the team that helps people find their way back to God together. Do you want to find out? I do. I do. And I want to invite you to be part of that with us. On the back of each of the chairs, you're going to find a little sticky note. Go ahead and pull that out. Take that off. There's going to be a pen on there as well. Just wave it at me. Go ahead and wave it at me. Here's what I want you to do. Just ask for your name and email. And then if you're already on it, you say, I'm already on a team. I want you to go ahead and fill it out. Name, email, and mark the team that you're already on. Mark the department that you're already in. And for those of you who aren't yet part of it, who are still observing this as opposed to being part of this, being a participant in it, I want for you to choose, okay, this is where I want to start. It's not necessarily where you're going to be for everybody. This is where I want to start. I just want to try out this one. What can God do? What can he do? Let's find out together. The amazing thing is that today, not only do we get to talk about helping people find their way back to God, but we get to celebrate with one who has. Will you guys welcome to the stage those who are taking the step of baptism today? Would you guys welcome Doe? Doe, as you take this step today, I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, is your faith in Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone?
Yes, it is.
Number 2, will you follow wherever he leads?
I will.
Lindo, based upon your profession of faith, what Jesus did for you on that cross and how he walked out of that tomb for you, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
just a bit of faith, we know that if we have the faith of a mustard seed, we can put our faith in you, and you will do incredible, great things with that faith. We believe that as we sing this today. Sing, I will believe. I will believe for greater things. Why? There's no power like the power of Jesus. Yep, let faith arise. Let all agree. There's no power like the power of Jesus. Yes, I will believe for greater things. There's no power like the power of Jesus. Let faith arise. Let all agree. There's no power like the power of Jesus. Yes, I will believe for greater things. There's no power
As you go out today, what I want you to do, whether you're on a team or joining a team, take that sticky note, and in the front, you're gonna see the banner. Maybe you saw it as you walked in. You're gonna see the sticky notes all over that thing. Just put it on there, and we will contact you today. We will contact you today to help you. The next time you see one of those baptisms, I want for you to know I was part of the team that helped that individual find their way back to God. I'm not just watching this, I'm part of it. What can God do? There's nothing that our God can't do. Make sure you put that on that banner as you make your way out. And then as we go, may we go celebrating the one who continues to allow us to help people find their way back to him, who continues to use us even though we do not deserve it. May we go out celebrating him with all that we have. Have a great day. We'll see you next Sunday.
Well, another exciting day. We were able to hear from some of the other directors, hear about all of the exciting opportunities,
That's right.
including Church Online, right? For those who want to join, be a part of our Church Online family and serve with the Church Online hosting team. You can
That's
serve
right.
with this guy and all of our wonderful hosts. Thanks you for joining us. Anything else they should know, Igor?
Yes, if you need prayer, you could just click the link below, and I'll be happy to pray for you.
Exactly. Or stop by for next, which will be right after this service. Via Zoom, you get to meet this guy as well. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you in September.
See you next week.